I participate in clinical trials because I believe it's the right thing to do. Before me, there were hundreds and thousands of other people with Parkinson's who participated in clinical trials that gave me the ability to have the medications I take today. If people today do not participate in clinical trials, there will be no cure. There will be no new medications. There will be no help for people in the future. So I believe strongly that people should look to themselves and look to their responsibility and join clinical trials. I believe it's their duty. I believe they shouldn't selfishly sit back. And I know that's a hard word. I know that selfish is a hard word. But there are all kinds of clinical trials. Not all trials are for new treatments. There are exercise clinical trials. There are trials where they just take your blood. There are trials that you do at home by answering paperwork. You can help in so many different ways that I think it's kind of a cop-out not to at least consider and look into clinical trials. I learned about clinical trials all by myself. Being a former webmaster, I started searching the internet, looking for information about my disease, which is Parkinson's disease. And I found out it was incurable, and that's a bad thing. I found out it was progressive, not good, and there are no treatments that will help it. But then I stumbled across the term clinical trials, which I'd never thought of before. And I found a clinical trial at that time that was looking for de novo patients, people like me who were new to Parkinson's disease, who were not on medications, for a new treatment that scientists hoped would be almost the cure, that it would stop the progression of the disease. And that's how I found out about clinical trials, and I signed up and started that first clinical trial in that way. I think that if people are considering joining clinical trials, they shouldn't take it lightly. There's things they consider. Are you willing to make the commitment? You absolutely have the right to quit a clinical trial at any time, and I support that 100%. But having said that, the fewer people that quit, the better off we're going to be for learning about whatever the trial's motives are. And so I would urge people to do your homework, look into the substance or whatever the clinical trial involves, what kind of a time commitment is going to be, what kind of travel will you need to do, if any, how many times will you need to visit the study center. Are you willing to make that commitment and follow through for as long as it takes? I think that's probably the most important thing. I think one thing that people don't really consider is, and this is certainly true for Parkinson's disease and maybe true for other diseases as well, is people who are newly diagnosed, we need you desperately. We need the de novo patients. There are so many clinical trials for promising new treatments, but researchers want to have the de novo patients. There's a study going on for Parkinson's disease for biomarkers, but they want de novo patients. We need to find them. We need to bring them into the community and at least give them the option and say, this is important. This is important because you can give back and you can make a real gift to others in the community by your participation, by scientists studying you and your symptoms and your blood work and your genetics. And this is a gift you can give back to the community. You don't just have to sit and take the disease as it comes. You can fight back. And clinical trials is my way of fighting back.